Hello everyone, my name is Anoosha Syed. I am a Pakistani Canadian picture book illustrator. That's my job, and I literally can't imagine doing anything else with my life. So if you guys don't know me, what I do, like I said, I illustrate picture books. I have illustrated over 20 picture books, chapter books, book covers with some of the top publishers in the world. I'm going to put up a couple of the books that I've worked on over here so you can have a little sneak peek. And then, very exciting news, I'm sure some of you guys already know, I have my author illustrator debut. That's not my name. It is coming out next year, and I'm going to have a little bit more information about that in a little second. And as I've already mentioned, it's super exciting because I've never written a book before, so I can add author to my little title now. So today is November 1st. First of all, I cannot believe we're already pretty much at the end of the year. It is absolutely crazy. Around the same time last year, I had made a video that was titled The Week in the Life of a Freelance Illustrator. And I kind of thought, I haven't done that in a while. Let's try this again. The life of a picture book illustrator, and just kind of sharing a little peek. Do you want to leave? Well, you can't leave just yet. And just kind of sharing a little peek into the life of what being a picture book illustrator is like. And so today is November 1st. And so I'm going to take you through this entire week from November 1st until November 7th, which is my birthday. And so I thought that would be my little birthday gift to you guys. So you're going to... So I'm going to be honest already, you are not going to see a lot of drawing in this video just because the projects that I'm working on, they are under NDA, aka they are under a non-disclosure agreement, aka they are top secret. So I cannot really share, me drawing and everything. But I think what's might be more interesting for you guys in this video is that I'm going to be sharing kind of my time management, my project management, how I plan my days out. And this is especially interesting because currently I have about 3 major projects going on. I have a book called Rani. I think I've mentioned this before. It is a picture book written by Sadia Faruqi. It is about a South Asian princess totally bored in her castle, and she's just kind of looking out for some new adventures. And so I'm a little bit stressed out these days. I'm super overwhelmed because I'm basically starting on my final illustration interior art right now, and I have to submit everything by December 15th. As I said, it's November 1st, so I have about 6 weeks to work on it. And so I'm going to talk about it in a second, but I'm stressed out. And apart from that, my second major project is I am working with a dream client who I cannot talk about right now, and I'm going to be doing something really cool with them. It's exciting because it's an area of illustration that I have not really worked in before, because I'm usually in picture books, I'm usually in animation, and so to be given this opportunity is really exciting, and I really hope I don't mess it up. And so that is also consuming a lot of my time, and that is due on November 15th, and I'm going to be working on that a lot as well. And then my final thing is kind of I'm not sure if I'm going to be working on it this week, but I'm doing some character design freelance work for DreamWorks Animation Studios on a unannounced preschool TV series. And so I usually have Wednesday deadlines to submit, but they haven't come back to me with new work yet. They're still reviewing my last submission, so we might not get a chance to work on it this week, which is totally fine because I've got other stuff to do. But yes, basically this week we are going to be going through hopefully these 2 main projects, as well as working on my Patreon. If you guys don't know, I started a new Patreon last month, and it is basically centered on picture book illustration and giving advice and kind of more of the stuff that I don't really share on YouTube. So creating content for that, and then finally I have some stuff related to my book, That's Not My Name. We're gonna get to work on that as well. But first off, today what's on the schedule is Ronnie. I'm so sorry if you hear police sirens in the background. But yeah, let's pretty much get started with my week. I'm gonna start off with Ronnie first. It is 10 o'clock. I just finished my breakfast. I had a really great savory oatmeal. It was really, really yummy. And so I'm thinking I'm probably gonna work on Ronnie for like the first half of the day and then maybe work on my secret client after. And then I have to do some video editing for my New York vlog, which I want to post sometime this week as well. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Monday morning, November 1st, let's go. We are at my desk. We're gonna get started with working on Ronnie. So I do want to apologize for any click-clacking in the background. I work in the living room. My husband's kind of like down off to the side, so you might hear like him working. So yeah, now that that's out of the way. So yeah, I'm pretty much gonna be working on Ronnie, as I said, for like pretty much the entire morning, maybe a bit of the afternoon. And so, as I mentioned, this is going to be due on December 15th, and I have 32 pages, which is about 15 spreads, and this is a combination of spreads and spots. I mean, if you want to know more about that, I talk about that in my like picture book portfolio videos. But anyway, basically I have 45 days to complete like 32 pages, let's say. And I usually get super overwhelmed with this kind of stuff, and I'm really bad at time management. And so last year I kind of figured out a new system of a way to schedule out my days, because before it used to be that like, okay, I know it's due, my final deadline is due at a certain time, and I have like this many pages, but then I would kind of just like work through it and then hope that I would be done before the deadline, which is not very smart. And so I'm really bad at time management. I'm bad with numbers and everything. And so my husband was really, really helpful. So for the past few projects, we've basically kind of like laid out my schedule in a way, and I'm gonna pull it up over here now for you to see.
Don't record that.
Yeah, that's gonna be one day, and then the next one is gonna take a really long time. So I would say 3 days for that one.
Okay, so 14 and 15 you'll finish on the Monday after your birthday party.
Okay. Hey!
Right on the laptop. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can. So basically, as I've said a million times before, I have 32 pages and they are due on December 15th, so basically 45 days. The way that we figured this out was, since I'm working on final art, I've already done the sketches, I have the sketches on hand, I would go through each of those pages and then determine what the difficulty level is. And then I would assign that from easy, medium, hard. And this is like these ampersands that you see around here. 1 ampersand means easy, 2 means medium, 3 means hard. And then because I don't have a lot of time, the max number of days I can work on a page is 3 days. And so again, this is 1 day's worth of work, 2 days worth of work, 3 days worth of work. So by going through each of these pages, and then also you can see that if I have like a 14 to 15, that's a spread. Whereas just like a 12 and then 13, it means it's like one illustration on one page, a second illustration on another page. So this way, me and my husband, we were able to go through all of my pages and determine how long I should spend on each page. And then from there, I was able to give myself mini deadlines. So you can kind of see starting from October 31st, I have these mini deadlines where I'm supposed to submit page number 12 on the 11th, page 13th on the 12th. But then also I get 3 full days to submit 16, 17 on November 25th because that was a really hard page. And yeah, going down the whole block until we get to December 14th. So obviously a lot of math was involved in this, and I'm so thankful I have a finance guy husband to do this for me. unfortunately, I'm gonna be working weekends, and that really sucks. I haven't had to work weekends for at least a year, maybe even 2 years, just because with this new planning thing that I've got going on, and just general new habits that I've put into place into my freelance career, I make sure that I don't work weekends, because I used to do that early on in my career. Like, I would work all the time, I'd work late into the night, I had like zero work-life boundaries, you know, and obviously that takes a toll on you. Now I feel like I'm in like a good place with my career where like I kind of make sure that I only work 9 to 5. After 5, I don't work at all. Weekends, I never work. But unfortunately, with this incoming deadline and everything, I do have to work weekends, unfortunately. And so the first spread that I did, it took me like ages and ages to complete. Like, it took me like absolutely forever. And Procreate, I just finished it yesterday. I'm so glad, because I was getting really stressed out. It was due yesterday. And Procreate says that I spent like 15 hours on it, and that was spread out over like 2 weeks. And normally I don't spend that much on a spread, but the reason that this was taking me a long time was 2 reasons. One, I always take a lot longer on the first page of a new picture book, just because I haven't, it's been a while since I've illustrated something. The last time I worked on a picture book was in the middle of summer when I was working on That's Not My Name. So I was a little bit rusty. And so every time I made something, I'd be like, I hate it, redo. And then also because of the fact that like starting a new picture book, you want to kind of determine what your color palette is going to be like, what is going to be the palette of your book. And so I was playing around, experimenting, determining what the style is going to be like, the overall color, aesthetic, whatever. And so that determining that was taking a while as well. And then secondly, the book itself, the kind of style that I've chosen, it's pretty intricate. If you've seen my past work, most of it is like pretty character-based. My backgrounds are pretty minimal. I like to keep it pretty simple. But for this book, because it takes place in like a South Asian palace, and it's supposed to be like really grand and luxurious, I did want to put a lot of focus on the backgrounds and really try to make it as intricate as possible. And so in this particular spread, it takes place in Rani's bedroom. And it's like a princess's bedroom, right? I want to make it grand. I want to make it beautiful. And because I really want to put a focus on South Asian culture, I also have a lot of prints and patterns and designs. And so that took me ages and ages. So finally got that done yesterday. And today I'm going to be working on the second spread. That I've given myself 2 days to complete. I'll be working on the second spread right now, and if I have time, I'm going to be working on that big client. And yeah, that's it. See you later. I'll probably talk more about this when I make a separate video for this picture book process, but for every single one of the books that I work on, I do keep a private Pinterest page where I collect all of the references that I need for the book. This was especially helpful for Rani because, like I said, it takes place in a South Asian historical fantastical setting, most of it in a palace, and so I need to do a lot of research on architecture, but also other things like landscapes, details like patterns, motifs, mosaics, all these little details, and just trying to find as much inspiration as I can from both modern settings as well as ancient ones. So for example, I'm taking this window here and kind of referencing it for this little spread that I have going on. So you can see it's not like a one-to-one, but I am just pulling in a couple of details to further enhance the aesthetic that I'm going for. But yeah, let's go. Let's get to painting. All right, we are on November 2nd. It is a Tuesday. So in terms of like what I got done yesterday, I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be able to finish up that second page today. I started on it yesterday. I pretty much got like all of like the foreground done, and I only have like a couple of background elements. So I'm pretty confident it should be done today because it is due today. So I figured, since I should be able to get it done, I decided to spend this morning on editing my New York vlog, which I'm doing right now, as well as just catching up and doing all of my Patreon stuff as well. So I'm going to record my podcast for my Patreon. I do like a monthly portfolio prompt that's like designed for creating good portfolio pieces. So I have to come up with something for that as well. Sorry, I just shook my camera. I have to come up with, I sometimes post process videos as well, so I have to make that as well. So it's a lot of like Patreon stuff. Basically, I'm just going to be working on the New York video right now, Patreon stuff, and then hopefully after lunch, actual book work. Let's go. Also, this is the third time I have reheated this cup of coffee because I keep forgetting, because I keep getting distracted with my work. It is a very bad habit. I'm going to be using it quite a bit in my sketchbook from now on. You see. It is 2 o'clock now. I just finished lunch, and I also, more importantly, just finished editing my New York vlog. It is ready to go, so it ended up being like 23 minutes long, which I guess is kind of short, but whatever, that's fine. Estimated time remaining 1 hour. So I guess in that case, I'm thinking that instead of working on the rest of my Patreon stuff right now, I might go, I think first, like the sun is shining super brightly now, so I think I'm gonna go for a walk, enjoy the good weather, and just like take a bit of a break because I've been working pretty non-stop this morning. So go for a walk. When I come back, I'll get to work on the rest of that second spread for Rani, and hopefully I will get that done by 5 o'clock. So right on track. And then later in the evening, I'll work on that podcast as well as making a little bit of content. I had to redo that previous clip several times because Link would not stop smacking at my tripod and making my film shaky. That's a little bit more relaxing. I do need to start to get to work now, so my cat is playing with my camera tripod, so if I'm moving around, that's why. Girl, don't do that. I'm doing the, girl, stop it. Doing the illustrations for the book. Girl, how dare you? Hey Link, you want to get off the desk so I can work? Because I know if I start working right now, you're gonna bite my hands. Please? Good morning, friends. It is Wednesday, and this is going to be another busy day. So unfortunately, I did not finish up my second spread yesterday, as well, it was due yesterday, but like I got really busy with like editing my YouTube video and then getting all my Patreon stuff ready, and then just like stuff around the house as well. So I did stay up kind of late trying to get it done, but it just wasn't able to, and I'm a little bit stressed out, so I'm gonna try my best to finish it up this morning and then get to work on my third spread. And I think I assigned myself 2 days for that, and hopefully I won't be too behind track. I'm a little frustrated that I'm like 2 pages in, I'm already behind schedule. I'm also gonna ask my agent if she can ask the publisher if maybe if by any chance there's room to add a little bit more time to the schedule. We had agreed on December 15th for like months and months and months. So I don't think that there's a big chance that they'll be able to delay it, but it doesn't hurt to ask, especially because I'm not as confident that I'll be able to get it done in time, so we'll see. So apart from finishing up spread 2 as well as starting up spread 3, I also didn't record my podcast last night, but that's going to be quick and easy. It'll take like 30 minutes. So before lunch, I think I might record that and get that ready. I also have to make my thumbnail for my YouTube video, and my premiere for that YouTube video for the New York vlog is going to be tomorrow. Gosh, there's so much stuff to keep track of. One thing that I really wanted to do was, if I have time, to get myself familiarized with Notion. Notion is like this website where it's kind of like a planning app kind of thing. You can have like a bunch of different templates, so you can have like calendars, you can take notes and everything. So it's supposed to be super customizable, and I first tried it out a couple months ago, but I got super overwhelmed just because there's so much stuff you can do with it. So I was like, I don't know what to do with it. But I think you can hear my cat using the litter box in the background. I'm very sorry about that. But I think I'm going to try to give it a go again. I feel like people who use Notion just like have their life together. And I could use that. One more thing, before I actually get started with finishing up spread 2, I'm still kind of like half sleepy. It's like 9:30 right now. I did not get the best sleep. I'm gonna create a time-lapse video for my Patreon as well. For one of my tiers, they get to see my process videos for previous artwork that I've done. So a couple of years ago, I illustrated this poster here for a literary festival. I can't really remember. And I still really like this poster. And so,
Did you just ruin the whole thing?
yeah, I'm gonna restart it. That's okay. I'm just gonna restart the end of it. So I'm just gonna get to work on getting that time lapse ready and then post it up onto my Patreon, and then get to work with illustrating, and I'll keep you guys updated. All right, ready to go. Time to export and post. I'm back. Yeah, this was a longer break than I had initially intended, and this video did not quite go as I had planned. So today is January 8th. Yeah, I know that initially for this video I had planned for it to be a week in my life, and it was literally supposed to go from November 1st to November 7th. But that did not happen. So what kind of happened, unfortunately, was that like a few days into it, I got like really stressed out with work. That's plain and simple. I got like really overwhelmed with all of the work that I had to do, all of the work that I had to submit, and I just did not have time to like film at the same time as well. And so then I thought, okay, maybe instead of a week in my life, I could turn this into a month in my life. And then that didn't really happen either. Yeah, it was just like, it was partially because I was like too busy with work, but also because I lost a lot of interest in filming as well. I have kind of found that like, personally for me with my interests, they definitely like, they ebb and flow, they go through cycles. In terms of YouTube, I definitely have phases. I'm sure you can see that with like when I start to post videos. I'll usually find like, I'll get like really into it and post 4 vlogs in a row or whatever, and then go into like a deep lull and not want to do them. It's usually that like when I'm tired of working on my books and stuff, when I kind of have like a creative art block, that's when I want to do other things. But I'm currently in like an art opposite block. I'm on a roll. Yeah, I got like really into like drawing and stuff, and I didn't really feel the need to film and like do my other stuff. And with Patreon, I was like busy with that as well, so I just did not have time to do YouTube. So I do want to apologize for that. But I figured that this could also be a learning lesson for you guys. Freelance does not always go the way that you want it to, and so I thought that instead of completely disregarding this video, because I was thinking maybe I should just chuck it into the trash, I think there's still something worth out of it, and instead I could end this video with just talking about what I've been doing since I last filmed in November, 2 months ago. So yeah, basically, past few months I've just been working mostly on Rani. Originally, Rani, my picture book, 32 pages, etc., was supposed to be due on December 15th. And guys, I was so stressed out because as you saw, like with me and Dan, like we had planned out when everything should be due. But within like 2 days, I was already out of schedule. I was already falling behind because like it was taking way too long and I was getting so stressed out. So I ended up emailing my agent and I was like, girl, I don't think I can do this, because I was working day and night, I was working weekends, and I was like, I cannot handle this. I'm going to lose my mind. Do you think there's any way that we can get an extension? And so she's like, yeah, absolutely. Let me see what I can do. And so we were able to get up until January 15th. So that's like in a couple of days. And that was like a huge relief. That definitely really helped me. I really needed that extra time because then I was able to properly give myself some breaks if I needed them, and also be able to like properly invest in the appropriate amount of like love and care into my pages, because I didn't want my pages to look like garbage. So at the time of, yeah, it's like January 8th, like I said, I have a week until the final submission, and I have 2 pages left. Technically a page and a half. I'm hoping that I can finish my second last page today, and then my final page tomorrow, and then get that sent out on Monday, which is very, very exciting. I'm, for the most part, pretty happy with how this book came out. There's one page in this book that was like the most complicated page, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But I also don't want to redo it, so I think I'm just gonna leave it as is and just, sometimes like you just have to let it go. Sometimes there are gonna be pages that you absolutely hate. Sometimes you submit in work that you're not happy with, but there isn't enough time, so you just gotta do what you gotta do and let it go. That was most of my December, just working on Patreon, working on Rani, my contract with DreamWorks ended, so I'm not working with them anymore, and my final products look pretty good, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. If it ends up becoming a show or not, we'll see. This month in January is going to be a nightmare for me. It's very, very, very busy. So on the 15th, Rani is due, but I'm also working on a graphic novel anthology. It's only 4 pages that I have to submit, so I have to do 4 pages of sketches, also due January 15th. So once Rani is done tomorrow, I'm going to finish that up as quickly as I can. Then I am working on a board book, and sketches for that is due on January 31st. So I'm going to be very busy with that as well, but thankfully that's only like 8 pages. Then for my second book, my second author illustrator book, My editor came back with notes for my dummy. We are ready to go. And so I do need to make a lot of changes to the manuscript because a lot of bits of it, I mean, I wrote it like 2 years ago, so there are parts of it I'm not happy with. We can definitely improve it a bit more, so I have to work on getting some changes to that, and I have a meeting on Tuesday. And then for the rest of the month, I'll probably try to rework that manuscript a bit more so we can start to work on that. Then March, I'm going to be working on the final colors for that board book as well as the graphic novel. So I'm pretty much booked up until April. And then in February, the very good news, I'm so happy, is that I am on break. February, I told my agent, I was like, I don't want to work on anything. I'm just going to relax. I'm going to take it easy. In February, I'm not going to be working on any of my client projects. I'm going to close up Patreon for the month for that as well. And then I am going to start to work on my third book. I have a concept for what that story could be, and so I want to take that time to come up with ideas, try to write it down, start to experiment with the art style as well. It's just going to be like the very initial stages because I want to try to see if I can submit it out to publishers as a pitch sometime in the summer. So February was going to be a really great time where I can really experiment, get down my ideas without being like too overwhelmed with all of my other projects. So I'm really excited for that. And for my third book, I definitely want it to be a traditionally hand-painted book, which as you guys know, I'm a digital artist, so it's very scary. It's very new and exciting, but it's something that I really want to try out. So yeah, February is going to be a time for exploration, but January is the time for hell. I'm going to be working very hard for the next few weeks. But anyway, yeah, I am very sorry that you guys did not get like a close look into the weekly life of an illustrator, but maybe I'll try again in a couple of weeks, months, who knows. But yeah, I hope this was somewhat interesting for you guys, and I'm gonna probably sign off now, and eventually, because I'm super busy with work, this video will come out. I might try to edit it later this week, but we'll see. I'm too busy with Ronnie right now. Maybe this video will come out in March. Who knows? Like 5 months after I originally filmed it. I don't know. Okay guys, thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you have any questions about my freelance life, let me know below. Maybe I might do like a Q&A video next time. But anyway, bye!